What's the most incredible adventure you've ever been on? As an avid traveler, I've been fortunate enough to visit some of the most stunning places on Earth. From the turquoise waters of the Maldives to the snow-capped peaks of the Swiss Alps. I thought I'd seen it all. However, my journey to the lost city of Machu Picchu in Peru proved me wrong. It all began when I met a fellow traveler at a hostel in Lima. She was planning a trek to Machu Picchu and invited me to join her. I had heard of the legendary ruins, but I didn't know much about them. Intrigued, I decided to tag along. We joined a group of fellow adventurers and embarked on the Salkantay trek. A challenging 5-day journey through the Andes Mountains. The first day was grueling, with steep ascents and rocky terrain. But the breathtaking views of snow-capped peaks and vibrant valleys kept us going. We trekked through small villages and met friendly locals who offered us fresh fruit and homemade bread. We passed by waterfalls and hot springs, and we even saw llamas grazing in the fields. The journey was tough, but it was also one of the most beautiful things I had ever seen. On the third day of our trek, we had been hiking for hours and were feeling exhausted. Our legs were sore and our backpacks felt heavier with each step. We were starting to wonder if we would ever reach our destination. But just as we were beginning to lose hope, we heard the sound of rushing water in the distance. As we rounded a bend in the trail, we saw it, a stunning waterfall cascading down the mountain in front of us. The water was crystal clear, and it sparkled in the sunlight. Our guide, a local Peruvian named Juan, led us off the trail and towards the base of the waterfall. We followed him, pushing through the thick underbrush and stepping over fallen logs. Our feet squelched in the mud as we got closer to the waterfall. As we approached, we could feel the spray of the waterfall on our faces. It was a refreshing break from the hot, humid air we had been hiking through. We gathered around the base of the waterfall, marveling at its beauty. Juan told us that the waterfall was known locally as La Cascada de la Vida, or the Waterfall of Life. According to legend, the water from the waterfall had healing powers that could cure any ailment. We all took turns splashing our faces with the cool water, hoping that some of the legend's magic would rub off on us. After a few minutes, Juan suggested that we climb up behind the waterfall. We were hesitant at first, but he assured us that it was safe. We followed him up a steep and narrow path behind the waterfall. As we climbed, the sound of the waterfall grew louder and louder until it was almost deafening. The water was pounding down on the rocks around us, and the mist was so thick we could hardly see. It was exhilarating and terrifying at the same time. Finally, we reached the top of the waterfall, where a small pool had formed. The water was icy cold, but it was refreshing after the hot climb. We splashed around in the pool, feeling like we were the only people in the world. As we made our way back down the path, we were all feeling energized and rejuvenated. The waterfall had given us a much-needed break from the rigors of the trek and reminded us of the beauty of the world around us. Looking back, that moment at the waterfall was one of the highlights of the trek. It was a reminder of the power of nature and the resilience of the human spirit. And it was just one of the many incredible experiences we had on our journey to Machu Picchu.